Every science research ends with conclusions. After all, there has to be a reason to do all that hard work. It's really good when conclusions can be useful. In case of nutritional research, it can be very complicated because since few decades, people have discovered much of the influence of the components of our diet on health, appearance, attractiveness, mood, libido, and mind. But conclusions of that very advanced research are in many cases similar and simple. We should eat less, mostly plants, no processed food. These new rules will not become people's choice without active nutrition education. Because when scientists find out some breakthrough discovery, it then depends on us, on people, not on laboratory tubes. What we do, what we choose, what we buy, and finally what and how we eat. So, okay, let's educate people about food. What does it mean? In most cases, it means changing habits of everyday cooking or way of eating. This is a spectacular process, and every person who tries to quit eating sweets or fast food can say a fascinating story of searching for excuses and repeating, okay, from tomorrow. And we need a really good reason or even all motivation system to change what we treat as our natural choice. This is all still very important. However, now we need to make a step further because our choices and nutrition do not only consider our health and shape, but also food security for all populations and for next generations. And they also consider our planet. The way we treat food, agriculture, food industry, transport, global food market have a really great influence on the environment. Global agriculture and food production emit over 25% of global greenhouse gases, which are responsible for climate change. The current world population is 7.6 billion and is expected to reach 9.8 in 2050. Therefore, now the first question about food policy is how to feed 9 billion people and how to manage natural precious resources we have. Such a big challenge needs great minds and analyzers to solve a problem. I would say that such a big challenge needs superheroes to manage the problem. That's why I'm here today. Not that I am a superhero, not even that I will talk about some super foods with super names like acai or quinoa. I rather think about some modest and quiet superheroes of everyday life. Superheroes which help not only our bodies to be forever young, but also our planet to stay in shape. I would like to introduce you to pulses. What? I mean legumes? Still not clear? I'm talking about beans, lentils, peas, and chickpeas. Let me show some superpowers of that team. Superpower 1 is a source of protein. I mentioned quinoa. Did you know that lentils deliver twice as much protein than quinoa? All pulses are a great source of protein. Although frequently criticized for not having full sets of amino acids, they very well pair with grains, especially groats and rice. In such couples, all required and necessary compounds are provided. Thanks to that superpower, we can easily replace meat with them, and in the result, reduce buying meat. Why is it important? It turns out that 18% of CO2 and other GHGs emission come from agriculture and animal farming. It's more than all transport in the world. How is it possible? More than 75% of agricultural land is used to feed animals. Crops require land, but sadly, land to grow pasture is obtained by cutting rainforests and eliminating possibility to cultivate crops for people. Because imagine, on a global scale, cattle, pigs, chickens need enormous amounts of water and food before they're slaughtered for meat. These resources are used to generate less than 20% of world supply of calories. Giant spaces are used to feed animals which are eaten by few and which very often is not healthy for them, while the land could be used for growing pulses, which are nutritious, sustainable, and available to many more. Let's go to superpower 2, which is drought resistance. Farming pulses doesn't need so much water. Those plants are really drought resistant. Deep roots of pulses grow in quite difficult conditions which other crops cannot survive. Thanks to that, it can be produced in dry areas, providing food security. Food security, it's not the topic which most of us consider every day. In Western civilization and few other places, shelves in supermarkets are really full of stuff. In many countries, meat, fish, or dairy are too expensive and go beyond financial capacity of local populations. Pulses are a chance for rapidly growing populations to develop their agriculture system in an effective and sustainable way. And already now, 90% of pulses come from 100 million of local farmers who cultivate them on those dry areas. But it's not everything. Imagine that our superheroes cooperate with other cool guys, bacteria in the ground, which bound nitrogen from the air and transmit it to the ground. This is the beginning of superpower 3, nourishing the soil. Nitrogen is a key element for all crops. In conventional cultivation, it comes from mineral fertilizers, which is a major pollution of waters and lands. Pulses don't need their extra mineral fertilizers, which is saving money for farmers. But in addition, leave land full of minerals ready to utilize by upcoming crops. The best way to use that superpower is to do a crop rotation, which is a practice of growing different kind of crops in the same area in sequenced seasons. It helps reducing soil erosion and improves crop yield and biodiversity. What remains after harvesting legumes nourishes soil even more or can provide animal food. The common practice, however, is the opposite, when monocultures are grown until the soil is sterilized. We definitely need that superpower to be more appreciated. Superpower 4 is long shelf life. Pulses are dry and hard, which let us transport and storage them easily without waste. While 1/3 of produced food is wasted, it becomes a very important one because nothing gets wasted from pulses. But real superheroes won't be so attractive if not saving the individuals. That's why superpower 5 is a nutritional value. we already know that pulses have a lot of protein, but also they have a lot of carbohydrates, which is a good energy boost. At the same time, they contain lots of fiber, so our body can use that energy slowly and gradually. It qualifies pulses low in glycemic index. What is more, chickpeas have 3 times more folate than kale. Folate is a key element when nervous system is created in fetus. Dry beans have twice as much potassium as banana. White beans have 3 times more iron than chicken. Although remember that iron and vitamin C are good friends, so pair pulses with parsley, lemon juice or kiwi. Beans have as much calcium as cottage cheese, and dry peas have 4 times more fiber than brown rice. Low fat and lots of fiber and low GI improves feeling of fullness and healthy weight maintenance. Also, it regulates bad cholesterol level in blood and prevent heart and cardiovascular diseases. Thanks to all that, the answer for overweight and obesity epidemic may be pulses. What is more, legumes are a source of resistant starch, which feed our gut bacteria, according to the latest news, people's second brain. But okay, some of you may think, hold on lady, you're saying all of this, but what about, farts? Well, that's life. There is some connection between legumes and some intestinal discomfort. Not even superheroes are ideal. But first of all, try to skip bacon in your beans or sausage in your pea soup. There is a high possibility it can be the cause of the problem. And if until today your source of fiber was a leaf of lettuce from the stick plate garnish, please give yourself more than one chance to try pulses dishes. And last but not least, superpower 6 is diverse use. So let's go to the kitchen and think about beans and lentils, and believe me, it's not only about fasolka po brytońsku and grochówka. There are endless options to try new, full of flavor, warming or refreshing pulse dishes. Imagine smooth coconut lentils dal, or comforting white beans baked with apples, or chickpeas, peanut butter energy balls, or a trendy sandwich with dry peas pate. Aren't they cool? All this work which pulses do is a part of a bigger idea, sustainable diet, which is good for health and for the planet. One of the research institutes shows how the well-known nutritional pyramid corresponds with the environmental one. Plant-based products suggested to be eaten in the biggest amounts have also the lowest environmental impact. It shows how different by highly relevant goals corresponds, and its health and environmental protection. Now it can be even more clear why pulses can play a leading role in that challenge. Because what we all do here and now influence reality more than we expect. All I can give you today is the knowledge about superpowers of that small seeds with such a great potential. I would like to encourage you to invite them to your daily life, and step by step, you may become a superhero for your health and for the planet. Thank you.